My name is Alex Spalding, and, I feel like there's always that one person, who's really good at something. I have a friend, he's amazing at math. He can do math like this. I have another friend, he's really great at sports. Personally, for me, I like to think that out of the whole school, I am the absolute best at failing. And I want to show you how I got to be this good at failing. My first failure, it really came with the Billiken Beams competition. This is a competition hosted by SLU. It's where teams of up to around 4 kids come together to build bridges out of thin pieces of balsa wood, pieces of paper, super glue, and, in my case, hopes and prayers. So I got in there freshman year, and with a few friends, we began designing and building this bridge. We didn't take it too seriously because how hard could it be? It should be simple, just building a little bridge that would stand a bit of weight. How hard could it be? Didn't take it seriously. You can see this nice picture right here of our design. Right off to the corner, there's a little game of tic-tac-toe being played. I won, by the way, but no one's counting. So we had our bridge, months worth of work. We went over to the competition, we went to SLU, put it on the podium to get tested, and then it cracked. Cracked right in front of us, right in two, and that did not feel good. That feeling of all that work coming crashing down the drain. So next year rolls around, and I've started to recover. I think this time we're gonna win. We're not just gonna do good, we're going to win this thing. There's no more games of tic-tac-toe. We are designing and we are building this. We put our whole mind to it. Same group of kids, we get together, go to the competition, and we're ready for this. We go up there, put it on the podium one more time, hope in our hearts, get ready, and the whole bottom falls out. Once again, months worth of work down the drain. And it hurts, especially when you really put your head into this. It hurts having all of that just taken away. So I want to take a little step back. Because while this is going on, this is an extracurricular activity. I'm still taking classes. I'm still doing CBC things. One of those classes is the Intro to Robotics. Now, in this class, we're taught how to build and design robots, just like they would in the engineering field or in the advanced robotics, which is the CBC robotics team. Now, the purpose of this class was to build and design a robot that could complete one of these tasks. This task was a competition in which we would move and manipulate blocks all around the field, pushing them in certain areas to get points, making an arm that would lift it on different podiums. Higher up you go, the more points you got. How hard could it be, I thought? Just build an arm. That's all it really is. Well, I got my team, and I actually got a really great team. These students end up actually being some of my best friends here at CBC. We got along great. We all had great ideas, but that was the problem. We all had great ideas, and we knew we had great ideas. So we didn't want to let go of those ideas. We didn't learn from each other. We just told each other what our ideas were, and we began trying to implement them as much as we could. Our communication was horrible. We could not do as well as we thought we could. At the end of the year, we ended up creating this guy right here. No arms, you can see. It was very sad, because I knew we could do better. We were all great, brilliant kids, but we couldn't. We didn't. I considered this a failure. Now, why am I telling you about how I failed? You all want to hear about great stories, about how people have succeeded throughout CBC, made this high school their own. But I will say, I genuinely believe that these failures are far more important than any success I could have had here at CBC. They're all greater than any great grade, any great project I could have made, because they taught me how to be better. Intro to Robotics. Weren't able to communicate. We had trouble coming up, sharing our ideas. That taught me, however, how to be better at that. Towards the end, our group, we saw how our robot was crumbling down, how we were not doing as well as we could have been. And so at the very end, we began to change. We began to share ideas with one another. We began to make others' ideas ours and make our ideas theirs. We became leaders and followers through this process. Because I learned how to do that through failing, I'm now able to go into the advanced robotics team, where we are building more complicated robots that actually have arms and that we're able to do so much more complicated things. Now the Billiken beams, where does that come in? I learned from my mistakes, and I still failed horribly. Well, with that, I learned what I think was the most important lesson. It was how to come back from failure. Earlier this summer, I went to a summer camp at Purdue University. It was a week-long thing where we learned about very nerdy things. We learned about how 3D printers work, and we learned about material science. I thought it was very cool, just because I'm a nerd. So that's not what most people were interested in, though. What most people were interested in was the competition. In this camp, what we had to do, we got into groups of around 6 people, and we had to create something using the 3D printers that would solve any problem we could think of. Now, me and my group, we decided to create what we like to refer to as the handy clamp. It was a little clamp that would clamp onto a wheelchair. You could install different slots in it. They could be either cup holders, cane holders, food trays, whatever you wanted. We designed both the clamp itself and the trays. Now, it was rough doing this. It was rough because every single day, it seemed, we would go into that 3D printer lab and something would be wrong. One piece would be too big, a screw size would be too small, the whole 3D printer would be a mess of wires. Something always happened. However, every time something failed, I felt the same way I felt when I failed in Billiken beams. And I knew exactly what I had to do because of this. I knew that whenever we failed, that could be used as a data point. Every time we failed, I encouraged our group to work more to help design a new product that would be based on the failures, how to improve based off of it. We refined our design, and at the very end, with the competition being judged, we were judged by a group of graduate students at Purdue. It was very terrifying. It felt like Shark Tank, where we had to market our product to them. We had to show them why our design was the best. Went up there, we presented. In the end, we won. We won because we knew how to fail. Now, I really never did introduce myself to you guys. That's because I felt like you can't really introduce yourself. You can't really get to know somebody unless you know where they've been. Well, my name's Alex Spalding. I'm what I like to refer to as an optimistic skeptic. Optimistic skeptic is someone who's able to look at an idea, see that there's greatness within it, but in order to reach that greatness, you have to nitpick it. You have to find everything that's wrong with it in order to carve out what is great. That's what these failures have taught me here at CBC. And that's what I plan to use in the future. My high school career is almost over, sadly. It's weird to think about, but I'm going to be moving on. I'm going to be moving on to colleges. I'm applying to a handful of different schools, Purdue, Georgia Tech, engineering schools like that. I hope to go into the aerospace industry, where I can learn about and design spacecrafts. I know that in using these failures, in knowing how to become an optimistic skeptic and knowing how to innovate, I'll be able to create technology that will help solve humanity's problems here on Earth by reaching towards the stars. That is what these failures have taught me here at CBC.